Leslie Penning, the master. Now, on this album, I had foolishly said that I would play it all. That was in my mind. I thought, to make it different, I would go back old school and I would play everything. Every instrument, there'd be no one else on it, it'd just be me playing it all. And I could see what we can do. And obviously I, like everyone else, been taught recorder in school, painfully. So I could sort of just get away with playing recorders. And I thought, all right, okay, I'll just play a little bit of recorder, but I'll try not to rely on it heavily, just use it as a texture. But I'd come up with these couple of sections where, it needed it played properly. And I was like, oh God. And I was sending the stuff to Les and I was saying, listen to the album, because he's always interested, because we'd been working on the Christmas singles and various other things. And he was like, what's it sounding like in the new album? I'd be sending it to him and he'd be going, yeah, it's great, it's great. And then he must be thinking, who the hell's playing that recorder? So he didn't say anything, because he knew that my plan was to play everything on it. But I was listening to it and thinking, oh God, what would it sound like if Les actually played this? And I'd written this one haunted melody and I thought, I can't play that. There's no way it's going to sound right. Doesn't matter how much technology I use. So I sent it to him. I said, like, do you fancy playing on it? Yeah, I'd love to play on it. And he did it. And as soon as he came back, he put it in, he put the recorder on it, and it's instant brilliance. It's Les, and he brings this sound. I was like, right, okay, you'll have to play all the recorder right now, which is what we did. And it's so much better, obviously. And it sounds lovely. But the other thing, working with Les, it's like a contrast to working with Tom. You've got these two little angels. Well, I'd say you've got an angel on one side, you've got a devil on the other side. Tom's on one side, and Les is on the other side. And you got Tom, who's like, wow, everything's got to be crazy and, punk, break the rules. Doesn't matter if it's not melodic. Raw emotion and stuff. Then you got Les, comes from more of a, he loves all that kind of stuff, but he loves the melody. That's what gets to him, the melodies and all this kind of stuff. So it's great when I play the stuff, because you'd have Tom saying, oh, you need this, you need that. And then Les would be going, oh, I don't know if we've got this and all this kind of stuff. And the biggest thing Les did, because it was right at the end of the record, where I'd finished the record, side one, side two. And I was playing it to him and he said, I love the ending of that section of part one, what you got as part one, but that should be the ending of part two, or that should end the record. You need to swap them around. And I was like, oh my God, do I really? So I thought, all right, okay, let's give it a go. So I cut the last 7 minutes of each thing, swapped them around, but obviously they didn't fit. So I had to rewrite stuff. And when I played it back, I listened to the whole album and I thought, oh my God, that's so right. It was the last bit of the jigsaw. It was perfect. And the dynamics of the record were bang on. It's like, that's how it should have sounded. And the parts I'd rewritten to join were much better. Again, it was, so it'd taken up another level. So that was brilliant. And then finally, my plan all along was to have two 20-minute bits of music, very intense, with some of the stuff that Tom had come up with, especially side two. And then I wanted it to sort of end with this, like a little cleanser at the end, a little safety place. And we've actually called it on the record, it's called Sanctuary. And you go through this 40 minutes of madness, and then you've got this lovely theme, which I come up with. I was playing it one day on the acoustic guitar. Very simple, but so emotive, that Celtic chords. And again, I got Les to play on it. And it sounded brilliant, absolutely haunting. And that was the record. I knew I had the record then. I could hear it from A to B. That was the record. So, the same with like Tom and with Simon. I think back to like 1978, 79, when I first bought Armageddon, and looking at the cover and seeing the picture of Les in his velvet suit. No, has he got velvet suit now? I'm not sure. Possibly. And I remember looking at that, thinking, oh, great, and then listening to collaborations with RGers, lying in bed with my headphones on, in school, loving it, you know, so moving. The arpeggios, oh my God, you know, the playing on that is stunning. The chords. I never would have dreamt in a million years that now, you know, Les would be a great, great valued friend, and he'd be playing on my records. I'm making this amazing music. It's mind blowing, really, but it just makes the record so good. His contribution, brilliant.